Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and guess what? We're gonna do another fun Halloween nails today because after this Halloween nails, we're gonna jump to Christmas nails. No, fall nails. So we're gonna do our last Halloween nails, and guess what? I am gonna be getting ready after this to go to Orlando premiere. So we're leaving tomorrow to Orlando premiere. If you guys are going, make sure you guys stop by our booth and say hi to us and check out all the Notpolish products in person. All the products that you guys been following, and now you get to see it in person and come meet all of our educators. So check it out, guys, and I'll see you guys later.
Alright guys, I already have the Notpolish Universal Tips on, and we're going to start out by applying the Triple X Bond Primer on top of the nails. And usually when I am working with design nails, I only prime one hand at the time because sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to do the design, and the primer might just evaporates and the oil of the nail but recirculate up. That can cost a little bit more lifting, so just prime one hand at a time, and it's okay to double prime. And we're gonna work with black acrylic today, so I'm gonna start out by applying a thin layer of clear acrylic on the nail bed first. The reason why we gotta do that is because black is a very pigmented color, and when your clients come back to soak off the set, we want to have that protective layer on the bottom, so it'll be easier for you to soak off and file off when the clients come back. And again, we're not going to put the clear all the way to the cuticle, just close enough, right? So, and then I'm pull it down. You see that? I did push it a little bit closer, but when you are applying the clear powder, make sure you apply about 90% of the nails. Do not apply the clear all the way to the cuticles. We don't need to do that. And when working with really pigmented color, do apply on the clear base, because when a color is very dark, that means it has a little bit more pigment and it can lift a little bit more easier. So we want to have that base clear to help the nails from lifting easily as well. So I'm just gonna apply on the clear base first. And then now we're going to switch out to our clear, which is a number 03. Clear, I mean black. Black acrylic is actually kind of messy to work with. It can get all over the cuticles if you're not careful, okay? But I just want to show you guys how beautiful this black is. Some black tends to run because, again, anytime the product has a lot of pigment in it, it can be a little bit more runnier. So, but look how this black just lay perfectly on, and I always use 2 beads application now. So I'm gonna drag it all the way down to the nail. And to be honest with you guys, a lot of time when working with like a solid black color, I prefer doing black gel rather than black acrylic. Just, you know, it's one, it's a little bit messier to work with, and two is when a client come back, it's a little bit more work to soak off black acrylic. So I like to do black gel more than black acrylic, but I'm just gonna show you guys this in black acrylic, because doing black acrylic actually is quicker for me than it is to do black gel, because once I'm done with this, I can just like shape the nails, buff it nice and smooth, and I'll be done, rather than me doing a clear set of nails, and then when I'm done, you know, I have to buff nice and smooth and then paint on the gel polish. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the black acrylic for you guys to see. And again, push it close to the cuticles and then hold it in place. Clean your brush and just kind of light. With the black acrylic, you don't want to flush it so much into the cuticle, okay? Just like how your regular lighter colors, because if you are using a lot of pressure to flush it into the cuticles, it's gonna bleed into all the skin and all the, you know, around the cuticles. So when working with black acrylic, be really gentle around the cuticle area and use only a little bit of pressure when pressing it into the cuticles, okay? Very carefully, and wipe it down. So this is how it looks like. I'm just gonna kind of dab a little bit on the side. Alright guys, make sure when we are applying on the acrylic, make sure we keep the client's always, not the client, the client's finger always pointed downward like this, okay? Because we want to work going with gravity rather than against gravity, okay? So always point the finger downward position, because when the powder runs, when you have it pointed downwards, it's going to run towards the tip of the nails rather than have, when you're holding it straighter, it will run onto the side of the nails, okay? So make sure we keep it really pointed down. And I did have a lot of people ask where did I got this hand from. I think this is the Alina hand. I got it from somebody in the UK. I like it. I think it's a little bit more realistic looking than my other hands that I use, and so far so good. I think when you guys are first start out doing nail, I wouldn't invest in the more expensive hand, because if you're not careful when you're filing around the cuticle, this hand can get ruined really easy, and they're not cheap, you know, they're like $150 to $200 for a hand. So I would suggest you guys practice on that the hand that clamp onto the table, that comes with like the tips that you pop on and off. Practice with that first. Once you get a little bit better, then I would invest in a more realistic hand like this one, because even myself, when I'm not careful, I get the cuticle all ruined with this fake hand. So I would, you know, start out with the, you know, the plastic hand that clamps onto the table and that has the fingernail that's pop on and pop off. Those hands are pretty cool to work with. And guess what? What am I gonna do? Oh, I am actually leaving to Orlando tomorrow for the Orlando premiere show. So I'm super excited, and I think it's gonna be such a fun time now that, you know, it's been a long time since the whole pandemic happened and we couldn't have any show like that. So I'm so excited to be going, and if you guys are going, make sure you guys come by our booth to say hi and come hang out with us. I think it'll be a blast, because we're gonna have a lot of our Notpolish ambassador, and they're gonna be doing a lot of live demos for you guys to see. If you guys have any question about the products and you want to see the products like live, this is the perfect time to go to the show, okay guys? So make sure, if you do go to the Orlando premiere this year, make sure you guys look for our booth. I can't wait to see you guys there. So I'm just gonna speed up the process a little bit on these application right here, because it's just the same color again. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just applying on the product. And I know a lot of you guys asked me before, can I make a video for the powder to liquid ratio? And I think I'm just gonna do like a simple ombre set. Maybe my next set I should do like just a simple ombre set, but I'm gonna focus on more on the powder to liquid ratio. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Because I know I think I focus more on the design part. A lot of my nails are more focused on the design rather than the application itself, and I think I should make a video focusing on like the powder to the liquid ratio, the very basic, and maybe a separate video for like just the shaping. I think I am missing those two videos in my channel, and I think I'm going to focus on that next time. So as you guys know, I always use the Notpolish 5-in-1 hand Notpolish 5-in-1 cross bit to pre-shape my nail. So I'm going to do it like this and pre-shape it, and you can kind of see how the shape looks so much more taper, like my index finger and my ring finger compared to my index finger and my middle finger compared to my ring finger, right? You can see that little bit of pre-shaping really helps. And I'm just gonna go in and clean around the cuticles now. I didn't pre-shape the ring and the pinky finger because, you know, we're not gonna get into too much detail with that, because I'm gonna show you guys more of the artwork today. So we're gonna smooth out the top. And when working with really pigmented color like this, I know a lot of people will have issue with when you working around the cuticles. What happened is you actually overfile, and what happened when you overfile is your nails will look like it's kind of grown out already, right? I'm gonna show you guys a little soon. I'm gonna show you guys how that looks after. I'm gonna overfile a little bit around the cuticles. So I think that happens a lot when you're newer to using like color acrylic. So when you file around the cuticle, that tends to happen. It will look like the nails is grown out. But look, I'm just kind of showing you guys how I kind of pull back the cuticle a bit like that before I you know, on, of course, like on your real nails, we're gonna pull back the cuticle a little bit like that, just to lift the skin off any product, lift the product off from, no, what, I don't know what I meant to say, to kind of lift the skin away from the product that's stuck onto the skin. Did that make sense? I think that sounds better. And back to what I was saying earlier, remember when I said that, you know, when you're working with really pigmented color and sometimes we overfire around the cuticle and it looks like the nail's already grown out? Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix that, especially working with like dark color like black, maroon, blue. We're gonna get into a little bit more detail of that. I think that's a really good pointer, because when I first started working with color acrylic a long time ago, and I did have that issue, I'm like, shoot, how am I gonna fix this? This looks terrible. And I have a very simple trick that I like to do, and I'm gonna show you guys that in just a minute after we done smoothing out all this, okay? Okay, again, make sure we shape the nails from all the way, about 90% of the nails, all the way down to the tip of the nails. We don't want just the tip of the nails taper and is super bulky around the nail bed, okay? We want it to be tapered from all the way down, so all the way down. There you go, and straight across. All the way down and straight across. And once this is done, just like on your client's hand, I always look at it from this angle, because sometimes it's super straight from my view and then it's not straight from the client's point of view. So I look at it from two different angles. And now that looks good. We're gonna give it a little nice touch at the end to kind of thinning out the tip just a tad bit like that. Once that's done, we're gonna nicely buff it really nice and smooth. And you guys remember my little trick from my previous video is after I buff the nails and whatnot, I usually put a matte top coat on top of it to smooth everything out before I do the line works. That way it keep my artwork very nice and smooth. Okay, now you see how that's kind of light? I'm using gel liner art that's the same color as the powder, and I'm gonna go lightly and just paint it across where it was uneven earlier. You see that? And now we're gonna go in and draw on our artwork. And I'm just using a white liner gel art and just doing my spider web on. Look how cute this spider web is. then once we're done with the artwork, we're gonna go in and we're actually gonna cure the nails first. Okay, we're gonna cure it for 30 seconds, and then now we're gonna find a blossom gel. We'll get a nice glop right there. And with this trick is make sure you pick a really bright color. You see how this color is super bright? The more neon the color, the better. And we're gonna mix it, the ombre gel and the neon color together, and we're gonna paint it on. But make sure when you paint it on, you kind of paint it outside the white line as well. Kind of make it look like it's kind of spread out. So don't just color it along the white design, but make sure you paint it outside the white line like this. You see how I kind of have it kind of bleeding out onto the black a little bit to give that little glowing effect. So the brighter the color, the better the neon effect's gonna look. Okay, you see how super easy this is? This one is actually kind of easy. Okay, so make sure you pick the brightest color you have for this neon trick. And I'm gonna show you guys other colors that's less bright, like this orange. It's just kind of like not your neon color. It's kind of like more like a coral, and I'm gonna show you guys how it looks. We're gonna mix the two together and we're gonna paint it on this. You see, it's still good, but you know, we could pick a more, I'm gonna wipe that off, that got onto the other side, the inside the black too much. We don't want that. So you see how it's kind of like not as bright on it's bright, but you don't see the color as much on the black. So make sure you just pick the brightest color and then just kind of mix it with blossom gel. And if you don't have a blossom gel, you can mix it with a clear gel top coat. And let's check out this purple. Mix those two together. And why we have to mix these two together, because we don't want the color to be super pigmented, because once you paint it on, it doesn't the white art underneath won't show. So we want it kind of sheer but also bright as well, so it looks like it's glowing, and we want it to show the white nail art, the artwork underneath. So we want that like that. Yep, so that's super simple right there. And I'm gonna use like another pink just to mix the two together again. And then now we have a lighter pink. And let me see how this pink looks. Okay, now once it's done, we're gonna go in with the matte finish. Okay guys, with this kind of look, we want it to be a matte finish, because with the matte top coat finish, it will make it look more like it's glowing rather than the shiny top coat. Well, we don't want to do shiny top coat on it, okay? So it looks better matte, and I'm using the Notpolish matte top coat on top of it. And before we cure it, make sure you clean off the edges just like that to hold the shape of the nail. So before we cure it, clean off the edges. And I'm gonna show you guys how that finger look now. It looks like it's all one color, right? It doesn't look like it's kind of missing that little it doesn't look like that nail is grown out. And this is the finished product. You see how the green, the bright green, actually really looks like it's glowing. So make sure you guys pick a very neon color, okay?